republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was liberated from a labor camp in 1945 when the Second World War ended in Europe. I'm still proud of the fact that I came to America in a dilapidated, very dilapidated Ellis Island. After I was liberated, I volunteered to be an interpreter for the military government in Munich, Germany, which, by the way, is also my hometown. And they needed interpreters very badly because the Americans, the soldiers that came in, had no idea how to talk to the natives. They have just become an enemy and have been an enemy. I came on a persecutee visa of somebody who had been very persecuted during Nazism in Germany. Okay. It took me 2 years of registration and interrogation and medical checkup, a real organized situation. We had a wonderful immigration department. You can't just mosey across the border. You had to be here very legitimately. As an immigrant, to come here to America as an immigrant, you have a certain amount of obligation. That is such a privilege. From any country, and I don't care what country you're coming from, America is a better place to go to. That's from any place. So when you come here and you get to be a citizen, you have to do something for a country, for a community, and for the people. To America, I wanted to do something for just everybody or anybody. And I got involved in civic organizations. And Sierra Vista was the perfect place for that, because when I got here in 1971, there was not much here at all. I made friends with people that would be believing in the same thing I did, like, for instance, to start art discovery. And we formed a committee, and we started art in a park. That was just a thing for grandma to do. A modern grandma can be a comedian. So that's what I did, and it was a big honor. You know, I went to the city hall, and talked to them about that sign because I had to have a gimmick. People thought it was all well and good. They were very like the Rotarians and the Lions and all these different clubs. But that didn't really get it. But that sign, they all wanted to be on that sign, their name on that sign, and their meeting date and so on. And to this day, when we get a new club, the clubs cannot put their sign on that, their information on that sign. The city serves that sign. When Hitler came to power in 1933, I was 7 years old, and consequently could not go to public schools, being Jewish. And I was accepted in a Catholic school, which I will be forever grateful for to the Catholics, for taking me and giving me a very good education by far. My life story is a big part in my life that is totally incomprehensible to people. And it is that part in my life what made me today to really tell the Americans what Nazism is all about. When I served the country, a great deal of my serving the country was making the country aware of what one country can do to people that should never have been done. That was my war. Would cover it, and it's tolerance. It's a very important word in your language. Religion is completely different, race is different, and so is politics. You can change your politics, you can change your religion, but you cannot change your race. I will not tolerate, I will not be in the same room if there's any racial or religious discrimination going on. I will speak up. Well, anybody who has ever been racially discriminated will be aware of that very, very important feeling that it causes within you. And you would never want to pass that on to somebody else. You know, racial discrimination is something that you cannot do anything about. You were born that way. Although this country underwent a great change for my way of thinking, and not necessarily for the best. Look, let's be honest. All that independence and all that equality that means so much to me still needs work. It is not completed. We still, all of us, have to work on each other to be there for each other, regardless of our background, regardless of our color. Pretty good as a second language, isn't it? Ich könnte das auch auf Deutsch machen, die gleichen Wörter. Dorle is my real name.
Dorle.
My real name. And when you become a citizen, you have the opportunity to change any part of your name. I much prefer Dorle to Dorothy, but Americans have a little problem pronouncing it. They call me Doily or Dolly, and I don't like either one, so I thought I was going with a Dorothy, but I'm not really a Dorothy, I'm a Dorle.